By every measurable standard, Empress Caliph Zora ruled the galaxy. Her dominion spanned thousands of star systems, stitched together by hyperlanes her fleets controlled and laws her voice alone defined. Entire species rose or fell based on decrees issued from the throne of orbits, a structure suspended at the gravitational center of the tri-spiral nexus. She was called many things across the stars: the undying sovereign, the architect of peace, the last necessary tyrant. But never was she called merciful. Caliph did not remember learning how to rule, only that she always had. Her memories stretched back centuries, seamless and uninterrupted, a continuous chain of conquest, diplomacy, and cold calculation. Emotion was a liability. Attachment was weakness. The galaxy functioned because she did not allow herself either. That was what she believed. Until the day a human name surfaced in a place it had no right to be. The name that should have meant nothing. The interruption came during a routine consolidation briefing. A minor star cluster on the outer rim, insignificant, resource-poor, had petitioned for annexation into the Dominion in exchange for protection from raiders. Caliph listened with half her attention, her mind already parsing a dozen other matters. Then her chief archivist paused. "There is an anomaly in the cluster's historical records, Your Radiance," the archivist said carefully. Caliph's eyes lifted. Interruptions were rare. "Clarify." One of the system's early survival accounts references an unidentified individual who altered the course of a regional catastrophe approximately 400 standard cycles ago. Caliph frowned. "That era predates my reign." "Yes," the archivist replied, "which is why the correlation is unusual." "State the anomaly." The archivist hesitated. The individual's actions prevented the destruction of a Volari diplomatic convoy, one that carried a juvenile Caliph Zora. The chamber went silent. Caliph's breath caught, an involuntary response she had not felt in decades. "That is impossible," she said. The archivist swallowed. "The records are fragmented. The name appears only once." Caliph leaned forward. "Say it." The archivist spoke softly. "Elias Rourke. Species human. The memory that wasn't there. The name should have meant nothing. Humanity, at the time of Caliph's ascension, was a peripheral species, curious, adaptable, but politically irrelevant. They had been folded quietly into the Dominion generations ago, their histories catalogued, their myths archived. Caliph had never given them much thought. And yet, a pressure built behind her eyes. A sense of something missing. She dismissed the council and retreated to her private sanctum, a vast chamber overlooking the spiral arms of the galaxy. Alone, she activated her personal memory archive, something she had not accessed in centuries. She searched for that era, for the convoy, for herself. The data was incomplete. Records of her early life were pristine until a single point, then abruptly sparse. As if something had been deliberately removed. Caliph's hands curled into fists. She did not tolerate gaps. Before the throne, long before she was Empress, Caliph had been Caliph Torah, third heir to a minor Volari house tasked with diplomatic outreach. She had been young by Volari standards, curious, idealistic, unprepared for the cruelty of interstellar politics. Her convoy had been ambushed in an uncharted system by pirates wielding illegal gravitic weapons. The official record stated she survived due to Volari security response. But the new data contradicted that. The convoy should have been destroyed. Everyone aboard should have died. Except her. Someone had intervened. A human. Caliph closed her eyes. Nothing came. No memory. No face. Only a faint echo of warmth and fear. The order that shocked the Dominion. The next cycle, Caliph issued a decree that rippled through the galaxy. "Locate Elias Rourke," she commanded. "Alive or dead. I want everything." Her advisors exchanged uneasy glances. "Your Radiance," one said cautiously, "human records from that era are incomplete. Many were lost during early Dominion integration." "Then search harder," Caliph snapped. "I want witnesses. Ruins. Graves. Legends. I don't care." Another advisor stepped forward. "May we ask why?" Caliph's voice was cold. "Because someone altered my past without my consent. And no one did that. Middle, the man who should have been forgotten, the human who didn't belong in history." The search took time. Months turned into years. Most trails led nowhere. Corrupted data, inconsistent testimonies, half-remembered stories told by fringe traders. But a pattern emerged. Whenever a minor catastrophe was averted without explanation, whenever a convoy survived against impossible odds, whenever a Volari asset escaped destruction in human-adjacent space, the same name surfaced. Always briefly. Always erased soon after. Elias Rourke was not a soldier. Not a diplomat. Not officially anything of importance. Yet he appeared at the margins of history like a ghost who refused to stay dead. A survivor's testimony, the breakthrough came from an aging human on a backwater station, one of the last who remembered the early days before humanity joined the Dominion fully.
"He was a medic," the man said.
"Or an engineer. Depends who you ask." "Which is it?" Caliph demanded via hololink. The old human laughed weakly. "Both, I think. He showed up where things went wrong. Fixed what he could. Got people out." "Why is there no record of him?" she asked. The human's expression darkened. "Because he didn't want one." The choice Elias made. Elias Rourke had been part of an early human outreach mission, volunteers sent to assist fledgling interspecies contact efforts. Idealists. Dreamers. During the ambush that nearly killed Caliph, he had been stationed on a nearby outpost. He intercepted a distress signal no one else noticed. He took a ship not rated for combat. He flew straight into hell. He got her out, the old human said. Carried her himself when the hull collapsed. Took shrapnel meant for her. Caliph felt something crack inside her. "Why didn't he report it?" she asked. The human looked away. "Because saving her broke a dozen treaties. Humans weren't supposed to interfere in Volari internal affairs. He knew the Dominion would erase him to avoid complications. So he ran," Caliph said. "No," the human replied. "He stayed, helped where he could, and made damn sure no one knew it was him." The memory lock. Caliph summoned her memory engineers, beings capable of editing and preserving Volari cognition. They confirmed what she had begun to suspect. Her memories had been sealed, not erased. Locked. The intervention had been deliberate. "By whose authority?" she demanded. The engineers hesitated. "The early Dominion Council," they admitted. They deemed the truth destabilizing. A human saving a future Empress? Unacceptable. They had locked the memory away, ensuring Caliph would rise without gratitude, attachment, or hesitation toward humanity. She dismissed the engineers in silence. Then she destroyed the council chamber, where the decision had been made. Finding Elias Rourke was not dead. He was old. Very old. Human lifespan augmentation had extended his years, but not indefinitely. He lived quietly on a remote agricultural world, tending soil under a false name, far from politics and power. Caliph went alone. No guards. No fleet. Just a single vessel descending through a blue sky. She found him in a field. Bent over. Hands in the dirt. Alive. The moment history met him, he looked up as she approached. And smiled. Not in awe. Not in fear. Just recognition. Took you long enough, he said. Her heart stuttered.
You know who I am, she said.
I do, he replied. You grew up. Anger surged through her. You saved my life. And vanished. He wiped his hands on his clothes. That was the idea. Why? She demanded. Because if you remembered me, he said gently, you wouldn't have become who you needed to be. The truth returns, the memory lock shattered. Caliph staggered as centuries-old sensations flooded back.
Fire.
Explosions.
Pain.
And a human voice telling her to keep her eyes open. She remembered his face, his fear, his stubborn determination to keep a terrified alien child alive. Tears, rare, forbidden, spilled down her face, joining her cheeks. I ruled the galaxy, she whispered, without remembering the man who saved me. Elias smiled sadly. You ruled it well. The weight of gratitude, she offered him everything. Titles.
Wealth.
Immortality treatments. He refused all of it. I didn't save you for reward, he said. I saved you because it was right. Caliph knelt in the dirt before him. The galaxy's Empress bowed to a human farmer. Ending. The Empress who chose to remember the final decree. Caliph returned to the throne changed. The Dominion noticed immediately. Her policies shifted, not toward weakness, but toward restraint. Human systems were granted unprecedented autonomy. Historical archives were unsealed. Truths long buried were restored. Then she made one final decree. Elias Rourke shall be recorded, she announced, not as a subject, but as a foundational constant. The galaxy stirred. She continued. From this day forward, no act of compassion shall be erased for political convenience. The old councils protested. She dissolved them. The last visit, Caliph returned to the agricultural world one final time. Elias was weaker now. Time, relentless, had caught him. You came back, he said softly. I owed you more than gratitude, she replied. He smiled. You already gave me that. You remembered. They watched the sunset in silence. When Elias passed, it was peaceful. Human. Finite. Legacy. A statue was raised, not of Caliph, but of a human carrying a young Valari through fire. Children across the Dominion learned his name, not as myth, but as truth. And every time Caliph looked upon the galaxy she ruled, she remembered something she had once been denied. That empires may rise through power, but they endure through mercy.